Are you tired of the never-ending dinner debate at your house? Or coming home so dead tired that you have spent $30 on pizza instead of cooking dinner? Again. I am too. So I'm putting a new focus on menu planning. Let me show you what I'm going to do differently. Hey everybody! Welcome back to Work Right Planner. My name is Erica, and here I share my unique perspective on planning and budgeting while documenting my journey to pay off 6 figures worth of debt. I've raised 2 kids on 1 income, and it taught me a lot, and I want to share that with all of you. So if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. It means the world to me, and if you're new here, I hope you stick around. We're all friends here. So if you've watched my budgeting videos, you already know that I have 2 jobs. You also know that my future mother-in-law is now in a nursing home, so we spend 2 nights a week there. I don't have a lot of time at home. And when the pipes burst in my house, my menu planning stopped and we started having to eat out more due to necessity. And you guys have seen that in my budgets, that it is unreal how much money we have spent eating out. So that has seriously hurt the budget, especially with inflation hitting right now. So now's the time to get back into the menu planning to try to stretch those dollars even further, because my menu budget right now is not real big. So this method of planning is not focusing on health. So if you're watching it hoping to find all sorts of how to save on your produce and getting the healthiest meals or a certain type of diet, this is not the video for you. This video is focusing on meal planning for time, convenience, and trying to keep it frugal. First, I want to talk about a couple of the benefits of menu planning. Number 1, it's going to help to limit your spending. You're going to be prioritizing meals over snacks because you're going to make a grocery plan and you're going to stick to that grocery plan. I use grocery pickup and it saves me a ton because I'm not making impulse buys in the store. And we're going to plan leftover nights so that you're not wasting the food that you made during the week. The second benefit is it's going to aid in weight loss. So if weight loss was one of your New Year's resolutions, this is one of those things that's going to get you there. You're going to be more mindful about what's going into your mouth because you're not going to be like, oh man, honey, what are we having for dinner? I don't know. What do you want to have for dinner? I don't know. I'm super frustrated, and all of a sudden we're ordering pizza. That won't happen. So just on the basis of not eating out as much, you're not going to consume quite so many calories. I don't know what the science is behind it, but it works. And then you're going to be a whole lot quicker once you make the plan to realize that the money really isn't there for Little Debbie. I'm just saying. It's also going to make you use your eating out money strategically instead of compulsively. You can actually look at when the best nights are for you to actually do that, as opposed to, oh, well, I'm feeling kind of lazy tonight and I don't really have a plan for supper, so we'll just stop by Taco Bell. Okay, we need to not do that. So how do we make this happen? The first thing that we have to do is make the plan before the plan. You need a starting ground. So what I like to do is, you can take out a sheet of paper. I have actually just laminated a piece of paper here so that I can use a wet erase marker. It just makes it easier to change it from time to time. It's whatever you can afford, whatever you like to do. If you have kids' notebooks sitting around that are half empty, pull out a sheet of paper and just do this exercise. Okay, so the 2 meals of the day that I focus on are breakfast and dinner. Breakfast, I only worry about the days when I'm going to be home. And then dinner is all of the nights, really. But I don't do lunch because we can do sandwiches for lunch or we can do leftovers for lunch. And that way we don't have to worry about what we're feeding ourselves during lunchtime. So what we're going to do is make a list of what your family's favorite meals are for these periods. Let's do that real quick. Okay, I've made my list of the dinners that my family likes the most. I'm not writing down all the sides. I can decide that as I'm actually making out the menu plan. But I have the general idea of some ideas of what my family likes. Now, the next thing, let's just scoot this up here. The next thing that we need to worry about is, do you like a routine? Do you want to eat certain cuisines on certain days? Do you need certain types of meals assigned to certain days? Make yourself a generic template of what your week is going to look like. So, okay, so we've got the week written out here. I know that on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm working at the other job. I've cut my days back right now because of us going to the nursing home twice a week also. So these 2 days, if they're not going to be leftovers days, would definitely need crock pot meals. Okay, so I need crock pots on all of those days because I actually work in the office those days, so I'm not at home as early to cook either. Tuesdays and Fridays are the nights when we go to see Paula. So if we're going to dine out, I prefer to keep it on Fridays, and we take her something to eat on Tuesdays. So it looks like Sunday, Thursday, and Saturday are really my cooking. Something that our family does is Friday nights, we alternate. We'll do pizzas or leftovers. Right now, we do sandwiches and leftovers on Monday and Wednesday more often than we do crock pot meals, but you never know. What my fiance wanted us to do, break out my control journal. Anyone who follows the Fly Lady knows what a control journal is. This is the generic menu plan that my fiance suggested and sent to me. Sunday being dealer's choice, somebody gets to cook, and whoever's cooking gets to decide who the meal is. That was our way of teaching the kids how to fend for themselves and cook for themselves before they moved out of the house. Monday would be a crock pot meal, Tuesday would be Mexican food, Wednesday was sandwich night, Thursday is Italian night, Friday is pizzas and restaurants, Saturday is Southern cooking. I do try to stick to that as much as I can, which is what you're trying to do down here. So like, when I say pizzas, I mean frozen pizzas. So we're either going out to eat or eating frozen pizzas. And really what happens is we don't do so much the leftovers, we just alternate these two as we go throughout the month. We might do the same thing with crock pots versus sandwiches and leftovers, depending on how the month is going. So that one would be a crock pot. Odds are Thursday is going to be a crock pot. But I do telework on Thursdays now, so it doesn't have to be. But like, if I were still planning this for when I was working 5 days a week, this is exactly what it would look like. Is crock pot meals the first 4 days, with, you know, potentially sandwiches and leftovers in there. And then Fridays would be eating out or frozen pizza. And then Saturday and Sunday, I would cook like an actual meal at the house, and I would just pick what it was. But if I were cooking every day, I would definitely follow something like this, because that would make the meal planning a whole lot easier, and you would get more of a variety on your food types instead of sticking to the same things all the time. Just something to think about. Now, the next step is I jump on Pinterest. Who does not like spending time on Pinterest? I'm just saying. So I have boards set up in Pinterest for crock pot meals, for dishes I'd like to try, healthy recipes, those types of things, and I pin stuff to them as I'm looking for something new. So get on there. It is a time suck, so set yourself a timer. Don't spend more than 10 or 15 minutes on this, but just go through and see if you can find a handful of recipes that you're interested in trying. So my question of the day is, do you have a go-to dinner for when your life is extra busy? If you do, leave that in the comment box below, and that way we can all share what works for us, and maybe it'll help somebody else that's coming into the stage of life that we're currently at. So now it's time to make the plan. Our first step is to get out a blank calendar. I have just printed this off of Excel, but you can find this anywhere on the internet. I just did the 1 month calendar, and I plugged in that it's April 2022, and I want the Sunday start. And you need to go through and use a highlighter to box in days that are going to be significant to your menu plan. So for instance, this April 4th through the 8th, that's going to be when Calvin's home for spring break. And when they are home, they eat so much food, y'all. Teenagers. I thought little kids were bad about going through stuff. Teenagers are so much worse. I'm just saying. Okay, so that is the only time period where we have to worry about Calvin. And then I'm going to go through and mark out days that I know I'm not going to be home. And these are in a different color because it's signifying a different problem that I'm going to have that I'm working around with my menu plan. I know that on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm not going to be home. Okay, this one, I am actually going to be out of town. So I'm going to also make a note here. I'm not missing this one because I'm working at the second job. I'm missing this one because I'm actually going to be out of town for training, like 3 hours from home. Coming home at the time that we would be eating. So this one's probably going to be an eating out day. The rest of these, I'm going to go ahead and mark this one because we've got some significance here. Okay, other than that, I am not aware of anything that should be affecting the meal plan. So we've got our days that I'm not going to be home listed. We've got the days that Calvin is going to be home listed. My daughter is actually going to have my second grandbaby somewhere in here. So it might be smart to do really easy meals right around here and potentially something that's going to produce enough that we can feed them also. That's definitely things that you need to know when you're making out your meal plan. Okay, the other thing I'd like to mention right here is the crock pot is a girl's best friend. Okay, I mentioned when we were talking about, you know, I would be using the crock pot 4 days a week. Y'all, if you've got little kids, if you work outside the home, even if you work inside the home, but your kids are a handful, I have 2 ADHDers, I know that it can be a handful. Crock pot is your best bet. And I've put a link to mine below. It is an affiliate link. You don't have to use it. But I absolutely love my crock pot. I live for it. The crock pot, the Instant Pot, and air fryers, y'all, they are the way to go. Hands down, Instant Pot, crock pot, air fryer. If you're going to invest in anything right now during your tax season, those are my top 3 investments. Single parent to single parent. It will change your life. Anyway. So back to the plan. Looking at each week individually, we need to set out what we're going to eat. And you don't have to do it on a calendar like this. Because my life was crazy, the month of February was actually just written on a sheet of notebook paper. And I wrote down the dates and what days they were and just wrote out what we were going to have. I don't even know what happened to March's. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all, I'm a girl without a plan because I did try to do it for March. Okay, so we're going to go in here and Friday the 1st, we'll just say that that is frozen pizza night. And we'll start there. You know what? Let's not do that because the 29th we do need to eat out. So we have our Fridays taken care of because we do alternate eating out and frozen pizza. The 5th is my best friend's daughter's birthday. I bet we'll go out to eat the Saturday before. So maybe we should, but that's also, Samantha is due here. So I'm going to put birthday dinner, ? And that way I have allotted for a birthday dinner. I know we're gonna have it and we can just shuffle as we need to. Okay, so we also have every other Sunday we go eat with my mom. So I'm gonna look up on Google Calendar and we want, let's see, April 2nd. Okay, so we're putting in Nana's So then I only have to plan 2 meals here. So let's look at, we'll just do sandwiches and leftovers on Mondays and Wednesdays. And that takes care of this problem. So do you see how quick this is filling up? So now we have our Tuesdays and Thursdays and our weekends. Let's go ahead and fill in breakfast for the weekends. So we're going to do eggs, bacon, toast. And all I'm doing is going right down this list, and that way I don't have as many repetitions either. Okay, so we've made it sorry, you can't even see this. I've made it all the way down my list of breakfast, so I'm going to start again. So we're going to go over here to eggs, bacon, and toast. Okay, so we've got all of our breakfast filled in here. Cereal is an option any day during the week, and if I decide I'm going to be lazy, cereal is still an option, and we can fend for ourselves. We usually keep things on hand like Eggo waffles, cereal, and breakfast bowls that we can have if I'm feeling particularly lazy, but I don't keep a whole lot of those because those are expensive and it's just cheaper to eat this way. So now we're going to go in here. Tuesdays, I'm actually at the office, so I do need crock pot meals. We can do Taco Tuesday, and actually Eric makes the best tacos, so we'll let him do that one. And we'll do potato soup on this Tuesday. Let's do chicken and dumplings on that Tuesday. And then we've still got another Tuesday. I need a crock pot meal. That is where my printed recipes from Pinterest come off. Very, very handy. Let's do crock pot lasagna soup, because that's always good. Okay, so now we've got Thursdays and the weekends. Thursdays can be crock pots, but they don't have to be. We're already having tacos here. Let's have spaghetti because it's one of the family faves. We'll do beef stroganoff. Lord, I can't even spell. We're gonna have cheese here, so I don't want to do 2 days of cheese in a row. Let's do chicken enchiladas. And we'll do baked chicken and some sides. Let's do green beans and corn with this one. And then we've got our Saturdays and Sundays. Let's do ham, mashed potatoes, green beans, and black-eyed peas. Will make Eric super happy. Okay, we had pork this day, fish. I don't even know what goes with what. I'm just trying to think of what I've already got in my cabinet. Pintos, mac and cheese. The 16th, let's do burgers and fries. We've got dinner at Nana's. So then we go over to the 23rd. Let's do the grilled cheese and tomato soup because that is a family favorite. Now we've only got 2 days left, y'all. And actually, I forgot to factor in a day. Good Friday is the 15th. So we won't be eating out there. We're gonna have the fish fry. My dad's family is Catholic, so we have a fish fry. Okay. So maybe fish is not the best thing to have here because we're having fish on Friday. It'll be okay. Okay, burgers, Nana's. Now, here's a fun fact. I have filled this in with other things, but if you've got a menu from before and you bought stuff for one of these recipes and you didn't make it, roll that forward. So we will just, let's see, what day am I on? This one? Chicken, bacon, ranch casserole. $1 million chicken baked spaghetti. And now we have the entire month planned out. It did not take but 10 or 15 minutes. And once you get into the swing of things, it won't take nearly this long. I was just getting started. This is just getting started, but once I've got it on a roll, it won't take anywhere near this amount of time. So what will happen is I will make a printed copy of this and I will post it on my fridge. That way everybody knows what we're gonna have for dinner. I don't have to handle all those questions anymore or any of that. So we filled this out. Now, tips for making this menu stretch and making your dollars stretch. Plan enough dinner to take for lunch the next day. So make this, if you work on Friday and you had spaghetti the night before, make sure there's enough for you to take spaghetti for lunch on Friday. And this is a giant pet peeve of mine. We're battling this right now with our teenager. But if you live in an area where school lunch is offered for free and you don't have food allergies that you have to worry about, stop spending your money on lunch food for the kiddos, at least for the time being. It does not make you a terrible mom. You are not evil. Some areas expanded this during COVID. Take advantage of it while you can. You have to pay for gas to get back and forth to work. You have to pay for food the rest of the time that they're not in school. So save your money for those things. They are entirely too expensive right now. Those need to be your focus. Our children have to learn that sometimes in life they're going to have to do things that they don't like, and that includes eating Michelle Obama's bland school lunches. I promise, barring any food allergies, they're not going to die from eating these bland school lunches, and it's what's available. Do you think the Depression era people would have complained about Michelle Obama's lunches? No, and our children don't need to either, because our economy might get a whole lot worse. And the money you're spending on that right now, you might need it later. So hold on to it. I promise you that our children, this generation that we are raising to take care of us whenever we are the ones that are in the nursing homes, they are going to be much better people for learning to sacrifice alongside you during this time of life. Now isn't the time to go hog wild on healthy eating either. Right now, we're just focusing on getting us fed as cheaply and quickly as possible because, y'all, we got to hit these streets pretty hard to pay for the gas. Anyway, so that's it. Like I said, this isn't the plan for the health conscious people. This is meal planning for crazy busy parents out there that just want the job done. And I hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you don't miss my next one. The next one is going to be about some public service loan forgiveness emails that I got. Stay tuned for that one. And if you're still in the mood to watch right now, YouTube's put the best video for you on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.